What if the chapter you were about to enter is the one where everything finally starts to make sense? The one where the struggle shapes you, the losses teach you, and the waiting season finally leads to something beautiful? What if the sleepless nights, the heartbreak, the doubts, and the moments you almost gave up were not the end of your story, but the preparation for your best chapter? Because sometimes life doesn't fall apart. Sometimes it falls into place. And maybe, just maybe, you are stepping into the chapter where it all goes right. Every story has difficult chapters. The chapter where you felt lost. The chapter where you didn't know what to do next. The chapter where nothing seemed to work. The chapter where people left. The chapter where plans failed. The chapter where your confidence disappeared. And during those chapters, it's easy to believe that life is only about struggle. It's easy to think, maybe this is just how things are meant to be for me. Maybe I'm not one of the lucky ones. Maybe it never gets better. But what we often forget is that stories don't end in the middle of the struggle. They keep going. A bad chapter does not mean a bad ending. Just because life was difficult last year doesn't mean it will stay that way forever. Just because something didn't work out doesn't mean nothing ever will. Life moves in seasons. There are seasons of learning, seasons of waiting, seasons of healing. And then, there are seasons of growth and reward. The problem is, most people quit in the learning season because it doesn't look like success. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection. Sometimes, what feels like delay is actually preparation. Maybe that job didn't work out because it would have trapped you in a place that wasn't meant for you. Maybe that relationship ended because it was draining your energy instead of building your future. Maybe that failure wasn't the end of your path, but the redirection you needed. Life often prepares you in private for what it plans to give you in public. Every story has a turning point. It's the moment when the character decides not to give up. It's the moment when they choose hope over fear. It's the moment when they take one more step, even though they're tired. And that turning point doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like getting out of bed when you don't feel like it, trying again after a failure, choosing peace instead of chaos, letting go of what hurt you. Small choices create big turning points. The chapter where it all goes right doesn't mean life becomes perfect. It means you start attracting healthier people. You start making wiser decisions. You start trusting yourself more. You stop chasing what isn't meant for you. You feel more at peace, more focused, more aligned with who you truly are. And suddenly, things don't feel as heavy as they used to. When you grow, your life begins to change in quiet ways. You stop tolerating disrespect. You stop chasing approval. You stop settling for less than you deserve. And because of that, different opportunities start showing up. Different people enter your life. Different doors begin to open. Not because the world suddenly changed, but because you did. Maybe this is the chapter where you finally believe in yourself. You finally choose peace. You finally walk away from what drains you. You finally step into your purpose. Maybe this is the chapter where your efforts start to pay off. Your confidence begins to grow. Your life starts to feel lighter. Your direction becomes clearer. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are stronger, wiser, and more aligned than before. Some people get so used to struggle that they feel uncomfortable when life gets better. They think this won't last. Something will go wrong. I don't deserve this. But you do. You deserve peace. You deserve growth. You deserve joy. You deserve a life that feels right. Not because you're lucky, but because you kept going when it was hard. So if you're standing at the edge of a new season, don't be afraid. Don't assume the worst. Don't expect everything to fall apart again. Instead, consider this. Maybe you are entering the chapter where your efforts start to pay off, where the lessons make sense, where the right people appear, where the doors finally open. Maybe this is the chapter where it all goes right. And when it does, remember this. It didn't happen by accident. It happened because you didn't give up in the chapters that were hard. So keep going. Keep believing. Keep turning the page. Your best chapter might be the one you're stepping into right now.